Oh, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Cab Crew Wednesday. Hope everybody's doing well out there, and hope everybody's doing good. Little thumbs up if you can hear me. Say hello to everybody. You can hear me. Yes, you can hear me. Good here. Okay. All right. We have John Dittenberg's in the house. Welcome, John. Then John from Spookville River Valley. He's here. Welcome, John. How you doing? We got Chuck Schreiber here. Welcome, Chuck. Glad to see you. We got Pedro. How you doing, Pedro? Welcome. Glad to see you in here. Yeah, we'll let some more people jump on board here. I'm a couple minutes early, but that's okay. Usually I get people in before I even go live. I don't know how they know I'm on, but they get on here somehow. And that's how it works. So, I don't know how the weather is where you are. It was sunny and in the low 80s here today. It was a beautiful day. And today was my oldest boy's birthday. He was 44 today. Same there. Okay, nice. So it's so we went out to dinner. Had a nice dinner with him with the family. Thanks, John. Yeah. And, so yeah, he's the one that went to see the big boy up by Scranton. But he didn't go to Scranton. I found out he was in New Haven, Pennsylvania, which is in the Poconos, and it went right by. He said it was going so fast, but he got a video of it because he wanted to get pictures of it. So maybe I'll bring him down to Pottstown when it's there on the 2nd, 3rd of July. So we'll see what happens with that. Sunny and 86 here now. Yeah, very good. Yeah, it's still 80 here. Sun hasn't gone down yet. So that's pretty good. And I got my new weed whacker working. I was having trouble uh, with it because uh, the string ran out. But they only have two pieces of string. They're only about like this long, and you slip them in, and then they catch and everything. But I didn't know how to replace them, and I didn't know how to get the little piece out. So I took it all apart. I went on YouTube. Nobody had the exact same model I had. Then, and the instructions didn't have a way to show you how to change the string. Showed you how to start it up and everything, but nothing like that. Yeah, that's nice, Pedro. Yeah, that'll be good. Yeah, it's making its way around. I think it's on the East Coast now. I think after second and third, it's going to leave Pottstown and then go to Philadelphia. and it'll be there for 2 or 3 days. I'm not sure how many days in Philly. It's gonna be there for the 4th of July. That'd be a nightmare to go down there for that. So I'm gonna go to Pottstown. It'll be a lot easier. It's closer, less traffic, and it'll be better there. See it there and walk around and stuff like that. So we'll do a video of it when I get there and see how it goes. So that's what I'm looking for. I meet Dave, DB Tech Dave there, because he lives nearby there. I think it's only like 10 minutes away from there or something like that. So we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, so back to the weed whacker. I took it all apart, the mechanism where the string goes in, and had 4 screws on it. I took the 4 screws on, and then there was 2 little spring-loaded clips in there. And of course, I didn't know how they came out, but so I had to figure out how they went back together. That took me a couple of tries to get that. And then all you have to do is push in the string, and it'll push out the old one, I guess. I don't know. Next time I'll try that. See what happens. So my backyard, the grass was about, I want to say over 24 inches tall, maybe closer to 30 inches tall. The weather has just been too crazy. It rains, sun comes out, but the grass is still too wet. You can't do nothing. So I took the weed whacker and did one section of my backyard, and I got one more section to do. It took me almost 2 hours just to do that section with the weed whacker. So, but at least I got it down. Now I can cut it with the mower. It'd be a lot easier than trying to cut down 3 feet of grass. That's crazy. But a little bit here and there. Hey, Mike, from Putnam Junction. Welcome, Mike. How you doing? So, yeah, so that's the weed whacker story. And at least it starts now. And figured out the little trick to get that to start, which I don't know why you need a trick to get it to start, but that's the way it goes with these things, So, let's see. So what was I working on this week? I had a NW2 Walters engine. It had an ESU decoder in it. My feelings about them decoders. So I got a TSU 1100 to put in it. And this is the NW2. It's a switcher. Small. It's like an SW1. A little bit. Around the same size. I don't know why they call them NW2s versus SW1s. Don't ask me. But anyway, I had it all together. Soldered all the wires on it. The engine fired up. The speakers played sound. I wired up the LEDs, and the LEDs burned out. Couldn't figure out why. So then I put new LEDs in, and they didn't work. After talking with Soundtracks, we think it's the light circuit on the decoder. So I put that in a box and shipped it out to Soundtracks, and they'll have that there on the 30th of June. I shipped it out by UPS. So things that I ship out go fast. Things coming to me take forever. I've yet to figure out why that happens. Once I get down in there, I'll explain what that's going on. So, so when I was working on this NW2 engine, it ran nice. It ran smooth. Had it running around the track here. It ran good. But the lights didn't work, and I was trying to figure that out. And then that's when I decided to send it back to Soundtracks so I could figure out what's going on. But as I was working with this, I was putting this shell on. What you do is you just squeeze it, and it pops right off, which is really nice. Makes it easy to get the shell on and off. But the road numbers, I'm going to make myself bigger. The road numbers were right here. It was 80, 88. And I'm going, I'm pushing down, and they wore right off. I couldn't believe it. So I have white decals in the closet to my right. The only problem is I can't get into those doors because I have my test track here. And so I said, it's a pain in the neck to move this like a foot and a half. I can move it this way, then I can open the door and get in there. It's not that big of a deal, but it's a big of a deal because I have carpet on the floor here in my office. It's carpeted. The whole office is carpeted. So the plastic horses, you can see the black in the screen there, right there. You can see the black. That's a horse. That's those plastic horses that I was talking about when I was setting this up. So I said, wait a minute, I'd have to lift this up and move it, and it was a pain in the neck. Well, now I went on Amazon, and I got these rectangular furniture stick-on pads that would slide on carpet. And I got 8 of them, and I have 8 legs here, 4 on each. So now I can just grab both horses and slide it right to me, and slide it right back. So that was the trick, So I said, great. Now I don't have to worry about moving it around or anything, and taking all the stuff off of the table and then closing it up and then opening up the door. That gave me more room, stuff like that. So I really don't have any other place to put it in this room. Because I need to get to the window to let Harley look out the window. He likes to look out the window sometimes. So I leave a space there. He can get underneath here and get in there and look out the window. He wants to look out, see what's going on, stuff like that. So can't put it over there because then it's in front of the printers, stuff like that. So right here is good. Now I can slide it back and forth nice and easy. And then I can open up the door. So I got to get my white decals out. I don't know what I have as far as numbers in those what's the name of that scale? I forget the name of the company that I got them from. They were sheets, and, and I got white ones. And I used a lot of the white letters for cars. I got NS, uh, engine labels and stuff like that. Maybe they'll have bigger. I need. They were about maybe a half an inch tall numbers, and so I need to get them decals and put new decals on that one. Put it on there. Probably get the decoder back in 2 weeks. The 30th, they'll get the package. I take a day or two with the holiday, so they probably won't ship it out to me until after the 4th of July weekend or something like that. I'm hoping that they get it on the 30th. So they might even get it earlier than the 30th. I don't know. So, so that's what was going on with that NW2. So have to wait for the decoder to come back, and I left one of the LEDs that I used soldered to the wires on the decoder, so that way they can check it, and then they'll know if it's working or not. So what was happening was both front and rear lights came on when you hit the headlight button. They both came on, and they shouldn't both come on. Only the front light should come on. And I went reverse, and the light wouldn't go off. So that told the soundtracks technician, Tom, that the light circuit, there's something wrong with the light circuit in the decoder. And he said, just send it back to us, we'll fix it, and then we'll go from there. So that'll fix that engine to get that operation. So, and then this engine that I talked about in my last video, the SD40 T-2, I showed you this a couple videos back that I had it, and I got the decoder, and the decoder was in, and I never did wire up the lights because I had to put new LEDs in the engine, and I ordered the round LEDs so they would fit into the housing inside the engine to go through, but they would stay in there. The wire would ping it out, so I had to put a little dab of CA on the lens and then stick it in there and hold it there for a second, and then it stuck and stayed in place. So I didn't put a big glob of glue around there. You never get it out. So I just put a little dab on the lens. You know how the lenses are, and then there's that little lip that goes around the lens on the bottom before the wires come out of it. And I put it on that lip, and then that lip touched the housing and kept it in place. So there were 2 headlights in the front of the engine, 2 in the rear of the engine, and then 2 on the nose. And what I did in the video, I made the 2 on the nose like ditch lights. They alternate and flash when the engine moves forward and the horn blows. So it does it automatically. So that works. This will be part of the consist for the oil tank train with the other SD40 T-2 engine. That's this gray one you see that I'm pointing to here. That was the very first one I got, a 40 T-2, which is that tunnel engine thing. So this is a Rio Grande, that's the road name, but it doesn't have a road number on it. I was telling you about that too. So I couldn't find orange numbers already printed. So I'm going to try printing the road number that I came up for this engine, and I'll print it. Hey, James, welcome. I'm going to print it on my color printer and see how it comes out. Then we'll go from there. So that's, I got to get the number on that. That's the only thing left on this. I was speed matching this guy, and I was having trouble getting it to go the same speed as the other engines in that consist. The other engines at speed step 19 would make it through the speedometer at 5.5 miles per hour. Hey, Barbara, welcome. How you doing? And they made it at 5.5 miles an hour. And with a little tweaking of the motor trim CV66, I was able to get all these to be 5.5. I think this black one here I'm pointing to is 5.4. I couldn't get it exactly 5.5, but 5.4 is okay. So this guy here, I couldn't get it at all to go 5.5, change in CV66. So then I was talking to Soundtracks today, and they said, well, why don't you just go into the speed table in JMRI and move the graphs up and down. He says, I couldn't get, he told me he couldn't get it to work. Well, I tried it, and it didn't do, I didn't like the way it came out. It was just going slower and slower, and every time I go around, it would pick up speed. Yeah, well, I'm trying, Barbara. I'm trying. So, so I got it to go 5.5 today. I disabled the speed table, and then I ran it again with the script, and this time it set different numbers in the CVs 67 through 94. And I said, okay, we'll use those numbers. And then I had to set CV 66 to a value of 175, and that made it go through here at 5.5. So that train will have 6 engines. It'll be 4 DPU units, 2 in the middle, 2 towards the end of the train, and stuff like that. That's what the plans are for that. So they're all going same speed now. So I just have to get the road number on here, and then this will be ready to be put on the layout. So it's really cool. You would think that this is the same brand as this SD40-2, T-2. It's an Atherin. This is an Atherin. This has a 21-pin decoder in it, and this one has a 21-pin decoder in it, and they're both the exact same model decoder. Do you think the settings would be the same? Heck no, because this motor and this motor are not the same. Even though it's the same model, same Yeah, I know. Same here. And it's a little bit, a lot of work to get it to be the same speed. But once you get it that way, then they're set. And you got the settings. I got the CB settings in a text file for all my engines for the speed matching. And I got to put them values all in my spreadsheet. Then I'll have them in case the engine ever hiccups with the decoder or something, whatever, you know. But if you get a new decoder, replace it, then you have to run speed matching again because that might be a little bit different than what the other one is. So, but that's just the way it goes with that. And so that's what's going on with that. Hey, Mike, welcome. How you doing? Good to see you here. And hey, Russ, welcome. How you doing? Good to see you in here. So, the resistor project is at a hold right now. And the only reason it's at a hold right now is because I ordered the 750 ohm, a quarter watt resistors, surface mount resistors from Amazon. And they said they'll be here July 2nd through to July 8th. Well, Amazon said it was shipped, but and they said it was shipped, but there's no tracking of it at all. So it was probably shipped from China, and it's probably sitting in customs somewhere. And because there's no activity on it. Hey, Dwight, welcome. Oh my goodness, another storm, huh? Be safe out there, Dwight. So, no tracking on it at all from Amazon. I have no clue where that's going. So, without those resistors, I can't proceed in fixing these cars. Now, these cars in front of me here, they're all flipped up. The wheels are off, and the other wheel for the resistor is sitting there waiting to be having a resistor added on. Those are just siding cars. They're not used for the trains. But the tank cars, I need to get ready for the train up there to be added to that train. So it's just a little bit going to be a lot of work once I get the resistors. So at least I have, I can do 8 wheels at a time. So I have those holders that I use to paint the wheel sets on. I put the wheels in there. They're stationary. They don't roll all over the place. I can glue them there, and then I can paint them there and leave them there. And then when they're painted, then I can take them off and let them dry somewhere else. I don't have to leave them on there. But to get them painted and to get them the resistor on it and glued on and file it down and make it ready for prep work on those things makes it easier to work with so they don't roll all over the place. So I can do 8 of them at a time. So 433s and 436s. So, but I'm going to do this 4 first, make sure it works before I keep on making all the guys' videos I watch. They do like 30 some a day, but they've been doing it so long, it's easy for them. I haven't done this, and I just started doing it again, and I've had them smoke, and some don't even work at all. And I had a couple that work, but then I put them back on the track again, and they don't work. So they're inconsistent. And I really think they were all because I painted the entire resistor with that conductive paint, and that's what the problems were. So uh, I ordered from Amazon the conductive paint, the liquid kind, and then they give you two brushes, and the one brush is a real thin one, so I can paint it on there with that, and that'll be a lot easier than that paste, conductive paste that I had. They called that conductive paint too, but it was really a paste. It wasn't liquid. So all the other guys I've seen use the liquid stuff. So I'm going to try that. That's in the box. Just waiting for the resistors. So once I get them, then I can get these wheels out of the way. I just have a couple of other cars that I got to add resistor wheels on. So my KD project, which is I changed all my magnets that I had mounted on top of the track, and they all worked great. But then I got these SW1s and NW2s, and they wouldn't go over those magnets. They would hit them, and that was the end of it. It wouldn't go over. So I said, okay, I'm going to put the ones underneath. Thomas, I need to give you some Gliptol. What's Gliptol? What's Gliptol? I don't know what that is, James. Gliptol? Anyway, so I then, cut out underneath where the magnet was going to go, and I slipped the 308. It's a KD number 308. I slipped it underneath there. Now I roll the cars over, and they uncouple, and they work fine. So I had a different type of under the track magnet for it, and that's what wasn't working. And so I found two of those on the layout. I took them out because they weren't working, and I removed them, and I'm going to put another magnet in the 308 in its place. That one works, and I'm not going to ballast the top of the magnet. I'll ballast along the edge once I get them all in place. Then I'll just ballast a little bit around the edge of them. You don't need that to be unprotected. But the top, nothing. I put nothing on it, and then it works fine. So I needed 7 more. I need 5 more for my upper yard, and then 2 for the top level. There was 2 of them up there in the industry area where it goes into the turntable and the refinery and the inner model there. So I needed 7. So I went on searching for 7. Nobody had them. I found this company out in Arizona that had plenty of them in stock. So I ordered 7 from them, and they were a lot cheaper than the other guys that I was buying from. So I ordered them. It took them 4 days to ship it out. And now the post office is driving me crazy again because it's 4 days since it got to the post office. Okay, the first day they created the shipping label, that was Sunday, I guess it was, and then Monday it arrived at the post office, and it said, "Wait, pending acceptance at the post office," and then it sat there, hasn't moved one iota. So the other day, I emailed the person who I bought them from, and I said, "Hey, can you check your local post office and see if the package is still there?" So he emailed me back and says, "We've had this problem in the past where when we give the post office a bunch of packages, they neglect to scan them, and it's probably on its way." Well, it shows that it isn't on its way, so I don't know where it is. So I called the post office up today, and today I only had to ask for to speak to the agent 10 times. Normally it's about 20, 30 times. Give me an agent, give me an agent, give me an agent. So I got an agent. She created a case for me. I got an email with the case number, and then I got an email from the Postmaster General in my post office saying they're going to investigate it and find out where it is. Because even though the system isn't tracking, they can find out where things are. If they can find out, that means it must have been scanned somewhere. Why isn't the system updating the scan? Okay. So the guy said that it should be scanned somewhere along the way. Well, getting from Arizona to New Jersey, it has to go through a couple of major cities, and you would think they would at least have scanned it once. But they didn't. So it's sitting there. And I don't know where it is. And that one there isn't that critical, but I'd like to finish that and get on with something else to work on. So it's just, a little bit of that and stuff like that. So it's just a little craziness with, now the post office is acting up. And I went out to dinner for my son's birthday tonight, and I'm sitting there eating, and I get a text message from the post office, the status, and I'm looking at it and I go, "Oh, it made it to Illinois." I said, "Okay, it's making its way," because the number was very similar to the tracking number that I was tracking. But this here text message is for a package that, remember I told you I bought some of the resistor wheels from JB Wheel Sets? Well, he made me a couple replacements for ones that didn't work, and he was going to send them to me. So he shipped them out today, and they got to the post office today, and it already departed from their post office and moving on. So it all depends on where you are and who does what or whatever. It's just yeah, I know it is, Barbara, but that's just the way it goes. You never know what's going to happen with them. It's just a crapshoot. So, but I was talking to one of the guys at NCE today, and he used to drive truck, and he used to see the mail stuff and everything, and and he was telling me that the Postmaster General is telling all the postmasters to slow things down because they don't like Mr. Trump. So And I believe that. So, okay, Pedro, thanks for stopping in. Have a good night, and we'll catch you later. Take care. And so I said, that doesn't surprise me. So just call up Donald and tell him to fire that postmaster. But anyway, um, so that's what was going on with that stuff. And I haven't been able to um, run that train that I was having trouble with up there on the 5th level because I've been too busy trying to get these engines working. And okay, everybody's saying good night to Facebook. And you know, because they've been sitting there, and that one that one NW2 took me a while to get that uh, figured, and then this one here was almost a day with getting the speed matching working and all that stuff. So it was good. So now, and now I'm trying to figure out why um, one of my cameras is not in color like the other ones are. And I got to go into the settings of the camera to check on it. Yeah, right. He certainly does, Russ, because he's been in there for many years. I don't know who, what year he was became the postmaster general, but he doesn't have any clue what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's doing. It's a shame. So, yeah, so one of the cameras on here, let me bring that back up again. Um, this camera up here, it's like black and white, and I don't know why. And like this camera down here, it's in color. And hey, Rick, welcome. Yeah, I can imagine, Russ. I mean, Rick. Yeah, that's how it goes, you know. How's it feeling now? Better or still a little sore? See, all the other cameras are in color, but that one there is in black and white, and I don't know why. So that I got to check the settings of the camera and double check them to make sure. Because I think there's a night vision setting in there, and I don't know if I turned off night vision or something else, and I'm not sure. So, but uh, that's just the way it goes sometimes. And also, I worked on my oil pumps. Um, I got them all back in operation again. They had the constant rotation of them going and the thing going up and down, you know, that rotation. They're on the motor. It's a double shafted motor. And they just have a hole in them and then they slide onto the shaft. Well, sometimes they slide off and then it causes it to break or something, and I had to repair them and stuff like that. I haven't found. I don't want to super glue them on, because then that's not good. So that they're supposed to force fit on there, and maybe I have to modify the file a little bit to make that hole a little bit smaller than it'll, because the motors, I've gotten different motors over time, and then those shafts might be a little bit a smaller diameter than the other ones were. So, and they just, but so I worked on them, for one day, got them all working. I had like 3 of them that were not working properly and stuff. The only thing in the subway system, I haven't run the trains in there. The only thing in the subway system is when I took the backdrop off of my big double window on that one side of my house, as when I was pulling it down, and then I went up there and I was trying to find a wire, and I knocked over one of the panels, in here. It's down in this. It's down in this one here, way down at the end down there. One of the panels is leaning over. I got to get back, open up the window, go outside, get behind there, and pull that panel back and stick the top in. And then then I can run the trains around there. On the subway cars, I have my 3D printed track cleaning car on there, and I was rolling it on the track, and it was stopping. And I know what the heck's it hitting. I looked at the track. Track looked good. Here, the feeder wire on that section of track was just above the rail by a little bit, and that's what was stopping the pad from moving. So I had to move the feeder wire down, just pushed it down a little bit, and then now it's out of the way. So I hope I don't have, that was in an easy spot to get to. I hope I don't have that problem anywhere else in the subway system. So I got to run them trains to clean the track and go with that. So all my trains now have a track cleaning car on it. And any plans for concrete passenger platforms? I do have, I have 3 subway stations on my subway system, Russ. I got 34th Street, 42nd Street, and 47th and 50th Street stations. And there's platforms there. I think there's 4 platforms I have for each station, and then there's lights on each platform. I have benches there for people to sit at. I got people standing waiting for the subway train to come in, stuff like that. Yeah, I do already have them on there. Like, I don't want to put a station in here. See, there's a station back there. You can't see it too clear. Yeah, that's okay, Russ. No worries. It's there. Let's see. If we bring up this guy right there, Russ. See the platform? And then it goes down that way. And there's a light here. You can't see the light. Okay, Barbara, have a good one. We'll see you later. Take care. I'll call you after the show. And so that's, yeah. And the only problem, Russ, is I can't give you a front view of the subway station. The only way you can see that is if I'm standing in front of it, because the entire subway system is enclosed, tunnels and panels all the way around, except for in front of the subway station. I left those panels open so that if you're in the train room, you can see it. Hey, Ronald, welcome. How you doing? So that's what I did so that it would be easy to see them when you're in the room. Because I don't want to have to watch the cameras all the time to watch the trains run. So I left those panels open so that you can look in. There's only one tunnel or one station that you can see both sides from, and that's in the middle of the room. That's 47th and 50th Street station. 42nd Street is up against the wall, so you can only see the one side, and 34th Street is up against the wall, and you only see one side. So there's 3 stations there in total. You get it now, Russ? Very good. Yeah, so that's what I did. And then there's a little office on the pad there. I used to have escalator steps coming down, but I don't have enough room up on the top to have it come out and go into a subway entrance point because of the track that's up there and everything. I still have the entrance point on the one side, and there's a hole right there. That's where the steps used to come out. And I might put the steps and come down in front of the pad here or something. I don't know. The escalator steps. I 3D printed them, but I'd have to make new ones because the other ones were printed on a resin printer. I'll print them on the filament printer, so it'll come out a lot better. So that's what that's all about. So let's see, like up here, you can read 242nd Street Station. So that's what that says with an arrow. So that's 42nd Street right there. And then the next one is 47th and 50th Street. And 34th is back that direction, going that way. Where my arrow is going back to that way. So in here, see, that's to 34th Street, right up there. And then that's 34th Street Station down there. This is the homeless people. This is hobos over here, or vice versa. There's a fire there. There's a fire here. Stuff like that. Van there going. And stuff, all the details and stuff in there. I got a hole right here. I got to fill that, but I'm going to have it painted first. Then I'll slide it underneath there to cover that hole. It is a weird angle there. And then this here to raise this track just a little bit. There was a dip there, and so that levels that off. Stuff, So I'll, we'll paint that and stuff like that. You get that, there. So there's a lot of little details and going. Uh, let's see, this one here. We did this one. This one up here. This up here is the other side. This is where, see that right there? That's the panel that's down. It's the land on the track. It got pushed in. And right here is a double crossover. So I can take the inside track and move it to the outside track and vice versa. And this here turnout is for going to the helix. So I can get the trains out of there and onto the helix. There's two entrance points on the subway system to get to the helix. So I don't want to do that. You can see up here, I have these clips that I screwed on to the roof to try and hold up the LED lighting in there. I had changed the lighting, so I had to go in the corner shorter, and so I had to put another clip up there. So that's what those clips are for. I 3D printed all those clips. So, and, oh, I know what I gotta do. Computer, office on. There I am. Now you can see me. Yeah, it was so sunny out that I didn't need the lights on. So it's almost 9 o'clock, and the sun just went down a few minutes ago. Oh, very good. 30 days ago. Well, happy belated birthday, John. Yeah, so this is the only camera that's in black and white. And like I said, I got to get on there and check that setting. Not on this software here. I got an app on my phone that I can see the cameras with. And let me see something here. Okay. And it's got to be a setting in there because the lights are on, just like the lights are on and on the other ones, all the overhead lights. So I don't know. I got to figure that out yet. And yeah. So and let's see if I go here. You can see two of the oil pumps working there. And if I enter this, and I go up, then you can see the other four oil pumps up at the top. So they're all going. Oh, Echo, the computer, computer, daylight on. That doesn't want to turn it on. There you go. Okay. Down here, this is the same. This is the engine house that I showed you on the last screen that I was putting together. So I got it all together. Doors are on, the roof's on. I just got to put an LED in the front there so that when that track power's on, it'll light up and you'll know there's track power. So one of my switchers will be in there, and this is the other engine house in the back there. That's a smaller building, and that's where the other switcher goes. So I got that on the layout. I had to do a little landscaping. This here track here was a dead track. It wasn't powered or nothing. It was just like in a yard. There's tracks that aren't used anymore. So that's what I was trying to simulate in my yard. And so I had to cut it off to make room to put the building in. So it's just a shorter length, no big deal. And there's nothing on it, the tracks or anything. I don't put anything on those tracks or anything. So it's just there. So with the light on, I can show you things underneath that level there. So yeah, I got a panel off here. There's supposed to be a panel there. So you can't see that back there. That's a continuation of this backdrop. And then there's a panel that goes up here that I haven't put on yet because I'm still working in the yard from the back side. So once I get that done, then I can put that up there. I did run that train up there, the one that has the switcher with the crane car that goes over to the scrap yard. I ran that with the routine, and that worked still. So that's all set up. So all I got to do is push the button, and that thing runs back and forth. But I don't like to run it without that backdrop up there. That's right on the edge of the layout. And if for whatever reason I don't want either one of them cars dropping from that height down to the floor. So 5 levels, Russ. 5. Here's level 1. This is level 1, Russ. Okay. This is level 2. This is level 3, number 3. The subway system is level 4. And then this level up here where the oil pumps are is level 5. And they're all facilitated by the helix. So if I want to bring some cars up to the yard from one of the trains from the 5th level, I just have to go down a couple levels on the helix. The 1st level, I got to go up a couple levels to get up there to get to the yard. Or to the cement company up there, or to the grain company up here. There's a company down here on the 1st level, a couple of industries on the other side of the, I got industries on different levels. Thanks, Russ. Yeah. So, see, here's the front side of the subway system. I didn't know you could see it there. Thanks, Chuck. Appreciate it. There's the station there, and there's a little extra wires here. It's hard to see. I probably could rotate this camera around, and we could probably catch the front of the other station. I'll try that. Then for next week, I'll show you the front of the stations the best I can. Because I have people standing there waiting and stuff like that. And Barbara does all my painting and stuff, and she helps me out a lot with that sort of stuff. So it's pretty good. So I got a lot of landscaping details to work on. Like if you see here, right here, this is all brown. Well, that's what it was originally painted, but there was green, woodland scenics, green foliage on there. You know, the grass, you sprinkle it on, you know, but me working on that level all the time, it just rubbed it off on my arms. It just came off. So I'm going to wait until I'm done with the work up there, which is just the magnets I got to put in. Once I get them done, then I'm done. And the subway system is done. And I just have a couple of wires to tuck up because I was working on the oil pumps and needed to get the wires down, test them and all. And so I just have to tuck up some wires. Then once I'm done, then I'm going to take care of the these areas. All along these are all, even this here is off. So, you know, I'm going to have to start getting the landscaping back to the color I liked. And the one guy I saw, what he was doing was painting. Hey, Chris, welcome. How you doing? He was painting his layout with green paint, and then he would take the woodland scenics grass stuff and then sprinkle it on. And that seemed to make it a little fuller. So, hey, Bob, welcome. How you doing? And I did that up on the 5th level in a small section, and it came out really good. So that's what I'm going to do, is take some green paint along there, and then sprinkle. I'll have to put paper down underneath because I don't want, when you sprinkle the stuff, it goes all over the place, right? It never goes right where you want it to. So once it sticks to the wet paint, then it doesn't go nowhere. And then when the paint dries, that dries. So that's what the plans are. And getting ready. And the white, these are my tower lights here. There's one there, there's one back there, and there's one there. I have 3 of them up there. Maybe eventually I'll add a couple more up there. I don't know. And maybe I'll put some down in the lower yard and do that. That's when I get back into doing some 3D printing stuff for the layout. So, but that's about it. So I have a few cars that I got resistor wheels on. I got to put them back on the track, stuff like that. But I haven't gotten around to turning the system on to run them into their spots again. So this here is been keeping me busy with this test track and stuff like that, with the engines and all that sort of thing. So I got 4 engines over here on the table. I was just using them to test things with. All those tank cars, I put it on behind an engine and I ran them all the way around, and they almost touched the other end, and then I ran that around. Just wanted to see if the wheels on the trucks were good, because I changed them all and never even run the cars because they were just sitting in the box waiting to be used. So I wanted to make sure that they worked, and they worked. But now I'm changing them all over to 36 wheels, and I got that train up there with a couple of them on 36 wheels, and I want to run that the next time I get some time to run the trains. So yeah, hopefully uh, this next couple of days. Uh, and so it's going to be interesting to and get that get them cars all straightened out and everything. So one other engine. Uh, I had an SD40-2, and that decoder it wouldn't turn off. Uh, yeah, that's all right, Bob. That's what camping does to you. So I, after talking with Soundtrack, they said send the decoder back. So I put it in the mail and shipped it to them. And this was uh, regular mail. And this was in May. I sent it to them. I called them up and said, hey, did you get my decoder? They never received it. They never got it from the mail. And so I ordered another decoder from the guy in New Jersey. So he'll probably ship it out tomorrow. They usually ship it out one day after order. And it's a 21 pin decoder. So all I got to do is that, it's a 21 pin decoder. All I got to do is put it in and it'll be ready to go, rock and roll. So I wait until that comes, and then I can solder all the LED wires onto the buddy board daughter board, and that'll take care of that. So that's that. It's cool, Bob. Well, guys, it's 9:11. Been on here for a little over an hour. I want to thank everybody for coming in tonight. I appreciate it, y'all. Uh, don't forget to hit the like button. I don't know what the count is, but I'll find out when I get off of the stream here, and then we'll see how that goes. So, yeah. So, all right, everyone. Take care. Have a good night. Don't forget to watch Jim Tedesco tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. And everybody have a great week, whatever left of it, and we'll catch you all later. Take care and good night. Thanks a lot, Chuck. Good night, Mike. Take care. Stay safe. Ron, take care. John, thanks a lot. Everybody have a good night.